Go.
Welcome, Kitsap County. I am Stephanie Dupuy with Dupuy Team at Keller Williams West Sound in Silverdale. This is this week's Kitsap County housing market stats for the week of crud. Kelsey didn't write it up there.
It's at the bottom.
Oh, Jesus. You're
29th
so
to
the
4th.
29th through June 4th. We are now in the month of June, really entering in the heat of the summer market. So here are the highlights for the Kitsap stats. By the way, for those of you who are not familiar, these statistics are pulled directly from the Northwest MLS, Multiple Listing Service data, and so this is a direct pull from the MLS, which is great info, and it's real time. We pulled these stats this morning, correct, Kelsey?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just trying to get Kelsey to talk on camera. She said she didn't want to, so now I'm going to ask her questions. So as of this morning, 101 new listings this week in the last 7 days in Kitsap County. So that's 101 new homes went on market in Kitsap County. 20 homes went back on market. So those were homes that were pending and the sale failed. The sale fell out of escrow and they went back active and became available to the public for some reason. Maybe inspection fell apart, loan fell apart, that type of thing. Here's something to draw your attention to. List price reduced. So list price reduced are homes that had to take their original list price and reduce it. Obviously, list price reduced. 61 is a large number. And this tells me that sellers are getting overly ambitious. May I use the word arrogant, possibly? They think they should price high and they'll just inch their house price down until the fish start biting on the price. We hear this a lot in listing meetings. We say, hey, your house is worth $500,000, and they say, well, we'll try $550 and see if anybody takes the bite. We want a buyer to stretch for our house price. Look at. You're going to end up in this column on our weekly stats is what's going to happen there. And the problem with ending up in this column is that you also add to this column the consecutive days on market, because now you're on market longer, and the longer your home's on market, the less you get for your house. It's a lose-lose for the seller. So if your broker recommends a price for your home, listen to your broker and listen to the professional. And I'm sure those of you out there who are professionals understand the importance of having your professional advice listened to. So 61 is a large number for price reductions in a week, okay? And we've been watching this number increase lately, which is common when we start to hear phrases like a seller's market. So this number might get higher, which is frustrating. Because it actually will lower our average sales price lower than it could be. Contingents. Oh, this is cool. 12 contingents. That's high for Kitsap County. Contingent sale is when a seller accepts a sale from a buyer and the buyer has to sell the buyer's other house in order to buy the seller's house. I didn't explain that very well, but you can rewind until you understand what I said.
Google the word contingent.
It's the word contingent. Yeah. You know, when the market's super hot, we tend not to see these. But we want to, because people need to be selling their homes in order to get in to move up, into higher priced homes right now. And the housing market has been so competitive. It's been hard for buyers to do this, which is kind of what's caused the market to, one of the reasons. There's been more than one reason that's caused the market to stagnate recently. And this is one of them. Sellers haven't been accepting contingent sales. And so it's nice to see that we've had some contingent sales accepted. Pendings are up at 200. That's great. We've been right around 200, 210 for about 4 or 5 weeks lately. And so we're going to see the solds increase. So that's about a 10% increase. This is from Memorial Day. Ignore that low number. That was just, if you go back a couple of weeks, we're around 100, 110. Days on market, we've been around 45 or so days on market for the last 4 to 6 weeks, and now we're starting to see this number go down. I would suspect we're going to keep inching days on market down, down towards the, teens in that range over the next few weeks. So as the summer heats up, and we're still low at 573. Not much movement on our inventory. 573 homes on market right now. So here's probably the lesson of the week. Everyone wants to know if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. Seeing a lot of movement here on how many homes are sold at and above list price or at and below list price. So last week there were 63 homes sold at and above, 49 sold at and below, which indicates a seller's market. If you have been watching the shows, we've explained that many times. This week, up to 89 homes sold at or above list price and 64 sold at or below. So we're really moving strongly into the seller's market at this point. However, sellers, you gotta still be wise. We've had several listing consultations this week. Probably the most common question or comment we were running into is that sellers are asking, when we do a selling consultation, our team goes, walks the grounds to the seller, and we make a list for the seller of what they need to do to get the house ready to list. And the seller, probably the most common comment we're getting is, it's a seller's market, isn't it? Do I really need to make these repairs? And just think through this. Put yourself in the buyer's shoes looking at your house if you're a seller. And you're gonna, and also just think through it from your perspective as a seller. How do you want your house present? Are you going to get more money if items are fixed? If you're a buyer, how are you going to feel when you see something that needs to be repaired, even if it's small, even if it's easy to fix? What type of perception is that going to give me? Often our perception of a home that we're buying is greatly influenced by something that's really quite minor and easy to fix. Something else that not all the sales are as is right now. Well, first of all sales in Washington State are always as is. That's the first thing. All sales, home sales in Washington State are as is, okay? However, you can always, everything's negotiable on the flip side of that. So even though it's a seller's market, it doesn't mean you're not going to get away with having to make some repairs. And it's better to make repairs on the front end than after a buyer finds out and discovers a repair, because then the buyer has some say in how repairs are done and you're stuck negotiating with them. It's better to make a repair on your own terms than after you're stuck in a negotiation situation in a contract.
Don't end up back on market.
Yeah, don't be back on market. Don't be a BOM. All right, that's this week's moral of the story. Don't do that. All right, Stephanie Dupuy with Dupuy Team at Keller Williams West Sound. Please like our Facebook page, and we'd love to hear your comments and questions below, especially any comments sellers have about this market right now. I'd love to explain them. Maybe we'll bring them up on the next video, and we will see you next week.